is Jacob Eskildsen. I'm professor and head of department here at Aarhus University. My scientific work has centered around performance measurements for many years with a particular interest on applied statistic and satisfaction measurements.
What would you believe are the main challenges an organization faces today in implementing a performance management system?
I think some of the main challenges is to develop an agile performance management system. A lot of the information generated today is not timely. It comes with a delay where the organizations are not really able to act upon the information with the speed that's necessary.
What would you believe is the downfall for the organization for not being able to provide timely data?
Well, the downfall is that you're not able to change direction or react upon issues as fast as you could. So a lot of the, what would you call it? A lot of the companies that have a competitive advantage within a specific industry has this capacity to react very fast on timely data.
Again, you spoke about your research, so I'm going to ask you, what do you believe are the key trends for 2014, maybe, in performance management?
I think the trends are towards developing simpler but faster systems. And by simple, I do not mean uncomplicated, but that we are getting better at condensing very complicated information into more simple measures that can be applied rapidly in organizations.
Related to this, speaking about this, what would be 3 pieces of advice you would give to companies on how to manage or operate a performance management system?
Well, advice number 1 would be not to look solely on financial indicators. Number 2, the indicators that you choose must reflect organizational strategy. And advice number 3 would be that the indicators we choose must be within areas where we can get data quickly. So if we're only able to get data once a year or once every other year, then we need to look at other indicators.
But for example, which companies would you recommend to be looked at, like maybe best practices, due to their particular approach to performance management and the results they've obtained? Well,
one of the companies we heard from last night is SAP. Of course, it's their business to conduct performance management, but they've been very good at developing developing new ways of looking at the market.
And does any other example come to mind? Because they're so specific in this.
Yeah. Who are excellent at performance management? Well, we heard about British Airways. Although they do not have a perfect system, at least within their industry, they are probably among the leaders in applying performance management. But it differs a lot from industry to industry. Also with respect to the maturity of performance management, how far are we?
Speaking of which, could you tell me what is your opinion about this emerging trend of using performance measurement outside of an organizational context and in a person's daily life, in personal life? Like, you know, pedometers, speedometers, calorie trackers.
Yeah. I do believe we're going to see more of it. You would also see a lot more within telemedicine on performance management or performance measures that can relay timely data to our physicians if we have health issues. But I think a lot of the other measures that you mentioned there are more, it's probably more a curiosity than anything else. We use it because it's fun, basically. But I'm not sure how much impact it's going to have on our personal lives, because we still have the choice of whether or not we want to do it or not. The problems comes when measures are implemented that we are not really mastering ourselves. If we do not choose to be measured, then it really affects our personal lives and our privacy.
Speaking of research and this field, what would you believe are maybe some new directions that should be explored in 2014 in the field of performance management?
I do believe that up until now and Neely also talked about it yesterday, we're very good at identifying relevant performance measures within an area, but we're not very good at looking at the relationships between performance indicators, and in particular in relation to overall financial performance of an organization.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome.